Good morning, everyone, and especially Blood. He asked if I would show how I did a repair on this 1750 and the 1350. This is the little plastic thing I'm talking about. You can see inside there, I think. It just snaps in. Yeah, it's a little hard to see, but this little top part snaps into this little bottom part, and it's all plastic. So as soon as you get a little tension, this piece here, this little top piece will pop right off. And you can see the little nub that sticks through right there, right in the middle, right there. And if you've got one of these models, you know what I'm talking about. This, as soon as you tension these things, this thing pops out. So on this one, got bad lighting. This one you can see I took that off and I bolted a straight piece right on here. This little bar. And now I don't have the swivel that I used to. Not quite as much, but this does still swivel. And it stays in. Now the 1750, I think I threw them little things away. Because these don't pop in like that. These are in there a little tougher, and you don't have to mess with them. And I put a bar instead of that little clip. Because these things here just don't work. I don't know why they put this little tiny piece of plastic in here, thinking that this is going to hold all that tension. Because this little thing here pops right out a little bit too easy. Let me see if I can. Yeah, it's hard to see. That's split. And it just pops in. And it just drove me crazy. Because as soon as you bump this thing or put enough tension on it or put a load on it, that thing popped off. And of course, this whole thing would pop off and fall. Now, Blood here told me that YCC has a etch piece. What it looks like to me is it's another of these, this pulley that's inside here, and some little bar. I don't know what it does yet because I didn't get one, but I'm gonna order a pair of them. Anything that will fix these where they stay tensioned, because you can see these things. You guys all know, if you have one of these, that these things don't tension very much before something gives. Either this little break inside here gives up and they get loose, or something goes wrong in them. I think in my 1350 I actually glued a little thin piece of metal in there, a little piece of rod, so that it would lock on the brake inside. These are easy to take off. They just unscrew, and you can take that thing out. And I believe all of them do that. This one definitely, there's the screws right there. But none of these things can you really hold them with a bunch of tension. And you can see all of them flop. And as soon as you put a little bit on them, they give up. So I'm a little bummed about how these work and how bad the brake is in them. They need to make a better brake in these things to hold them once you adjust them. And they gotta stop putting this little plastic thing in here that keeps popping out. These things drove me nuts. And that's why I just find a piece of metal, take this part here out, and replace it with a piece of metal. That's the best way to deal with these things. You can see my other one is in here. There it is right there. I took both of them out. Now the 1750, I don't know what I did with them. I don't see them in my little box. but they had the same thing. All of these things come with these little plastic things in them. And I think this was the only one that didn't. Was the was the 11200. All of this is pretty solid and steady. The only thing is these brakes here don't hold up very well. So, and while I got y'all on here, I don't know who's gonna look, but I have this thing about ready to put on. I got this thing so hard I can barely turn it. And I think what the problem with this is in the design. When you take this out, I think you've seen it. There's a little tapered part that fits inside the well down in here, down inside here. And I think that is what gives it the wobble. If this doesn't work, I'm going to stick a piece of paper around in there to take up that slop. Because when you set this thing inside here, it wobbles because it doesn't, the taper doesn't fit perfectly. So I may have found another problem with the design on this. I'll keep y'all updated. I'll let you know. But this video is mainly for this. I took these dang things out of there. They drove me nuts, man. They really did. There it is. You can see that split. Right there. And that's why those are a piece of junk. I'll keep it clean today. All right, y'all. Especially you, Blood. I hope that clears that up. And anybody else that has this problem, and I know you do, don't jive me. This little piece right here might work. You could bolt this and bolt through here. And anything that would take away this little pin that sticks in here. That's the only thing that's a bummer on this thing. Everything else holds. If that's not clear, hit me up in the comment section. I'll go over it again. I think I mentioned it in the reviews or in the assembly videos that I did on these. I mentioned that these things don't work very well. They are crappy little pieces of junk. I wish they'd make them out of something metal that didn't give up so easily. But there you have it, guys, especially you, Blood. I hope that clears it up. If it don't, hit me up, bro. I'll get you straight. Y'all have a great day. Thanks for watching.